According to experts, changing the calendar to 2022 will not necessarily give a fresh start for employers who are looking to fill open positions.
That's right. In fact, things could actually get worse before they get better. HR and recruitment expert Chris Dardis with Verseek joins us. And Chris, it's a pleasure to have you with us this morning. But let's kind of first talk about how we got here. So we know the pandemic really turned things completely upside down. But it wasn't just one factor. It wasn't just parents, staying home to help the kids with them being virtual learners or early retirement. It's a number of things that led to this?
It is a number of things that led to this. Things are getting a little bit better with people returning to work. Unemployment in the U.S. right now is about 4.3%. Here in Minnesota, it's about 3.3%. But if you factor in professional unemployment, it takes it to under 2%. So candidates are harder to find now, but you're right. Individuals lost their work at the beginning of the pandemic, and then individuals were recognizing that I just have to stay home to take care of my kids to help them through school. A term that I've heard about what we're going through now is not the great resignation. I've heard the term the great renegotiation. So candidates and employees are taking a look at the work that they're doing now and kind of asking themselves, is this worth it?
Yeah, do I want to stay in this career path for the future?
You're right. You're right. Yeah, and so individuals are taking a look and saying, do I feel fulfilled in what I'm doing? And if I don't, I either need to make a change or maybe ask for things that will make it worth my while to stay here.
Sure. So when you talk about those things that would make it worth someone's while, I mean, I think people think more money, they think vacation, but what are some of the things that you guys are seeing companies are willing to do to maintain and retain those employees?
That's a good question. The operative word that we're hearing right now is choice around flexibility, where you do your work. And so individuals we see hybrid employment being a big factor right now, whether or not individuals are staying in a job or whether they're willing to take a job offer. Companies who are requiring 5 days a week on site are having a tougher time finding candidates in this market.
Yeah, not being as flexible. Let's talk about the industries that are hit the hardest. I think from going out to dinner, perhaps, like we've noticed the hospitality industries, the healthcare industry. Do you see them bouncing back in the next year at all with it being fully staffed?
I see it continuing to be volatile. Yeah, it's tough to see what's going to happen in 2022, but you're right. Hospitality and retail and restaurants are kind of up in the air right now.
I'm curious, as people look at the last 18 months to 2 years in this COVID time and kind of reassessing their values and what is important to them. And you talked about, when you're negotiating, being flexible and maybe looking for this work-life balance of working from home a couple of days. That's great right now, but do you guys see this long term? I mean, have we really shifted the way that people work this Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 job?
That's a good question. I honestly think we have. I think companies who are really hoping that things get back to normal, I don't know that we're ever going to get there again. I think employees really need to focus on right now being able to allow their employees to say, I feel like a contributing member of a winning team doing meaningful work in an environment of trust. That's what employers should strive for. And employees right now, I think they're really taking stock as to, you use the term work-life balance, employees are taking a look and saying, well, what can I do to not balance it, but to blend it? So work-life blend is going to be a new operative word moving into 2022.
Let's talk about this. So if Megan and I are applying for the same job, what is going to make me stand out over her, right?
Wait a minute, are we sure she's filling in tomorrow? Or can we reschedule that, Mike?
Not for this, but just hypothetically.
Yeah, for sure. When it comes down to the interview process and showing up and speaking to the hiring leaders, it has a lot to do with the rapport that you can build during that interview process. And honestly, I've seen individuals get jobs simply because of a thank you note that helped them stand out. So that's still a thing.
Well, you mentioned meaningful career, finding the value, not necessarily the work-life balance, but the blend. Those are all intrinsic things that people want. And I feel like it wasn't necessarily something that we were looking for 2 or 3 years ago.
Before all this.
But now, that's changed. Going to the thank you note. People want that person that has those good character qualities that they're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you. Yeah, it's simply because we've seen that when you're an employer, if you aren't treating your employees as humanistically as you can, they are going to have choices moving forward.
I think companies are seeing that more now than ever before, too.
Yeah, they
so
are. Yeah.
wonderful.
Well, Chris, thank you so much. It was really enlightening to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Kristen's getting the job.
No. Was just curious.
Just asking for a friend.
Showing the resumes.
Hey, VerSeek, by the way, does help companies connect with quality talent, and we have posted all of their information on our website, minnesotalive.com.